It's time for Real Talk with Cindy Barber. Stay tuned for conversation and information from her special guest. Now sit back and relax and enjoy Real Talk with Cindy Barber.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Real Talk with Cindy. I see you coming on. Please let me know the city, state, or the country where you are joining us from. I'm excited. My guests are here. Hello, Paulette, watching from Orlando, Florida on YouTube. God bless you. Thank you for joining me on tonight. I hope everyone has had an amazing day, an amazing Sunday. Please tag and share as you're coming on. Please let other people know that we're here. Please also subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is Cindy R. Barber. And if you would like to be a blessing to Real Talk with Cindy, please use one of the two ways of giving: my Cash App, Cindy's Keys, or paypal.me/Cindy R. Barber. God bless you. I see you coming on. I see you. Also, if you would like to advertise an event or one of your businesses that you'd like to advertise right here on Real Talk, please let me know. Send me an inbox, a message, or either you can send it to my email, which is ms.cindybarber@gmail.com. Also, if you have admin or tech skills and would like to work with me with Real Talk, please inbox me or send me an email. God bless you. God bless you. We will also be taking questions tonight. We have some amazing entrepreneurs that are here tonight from New Jersey and all the way from Florida. God bless you. I see you coming on. Kim Dunn from Willingboro. God bless you. Good to see you tonight. Thank you for joining us. Kathy, my sister-in-law, thank you for joining us from Windsor, Connecticut. Please tag and share and let others know that we're on. God bless you. I see you coming on. And please let others know that we're on my ministry page, which is Cindy Barber Ministries. And that's the page that they have to join us from, or either from my YouTube channel, which is Cindy R. Barber. That is my YouTube channel. God bless you. I see you coming on. Also, don't forget to give us some likes and hearts on tonight. Give us some likes and hearts on tonight. Come on in, come on in. YouTubers, come on in. We thank you so much for being a part of Real Talk. Real Talk. God bless you so much for joining and being a part. I have interviewed well over 100 people, artists, everyday people, youth, pastors, musicians, and I thank God for this platform. It's been well over 100 people that I have interviewed, so I thank God for this platform. Come on in and share, tag. God bless everyone. Also tonight, if you have questions for the entrepreneurs, please feel free to ask questions. And we're going to go ahead and get started. Good evening, Cassandra.
How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you doing on tonight?
I'm great. Just doing fine.
Good. I'm so honored and glad to have you with me on tonight. So I want you to share a little bit about your business and how long you've had your business and what influenced you to get started with your business.
Well, I my business is graphics and visual.
Mhm,
I do anywhere from flyers, anything that has to do with graphics, and
mhm,
anything that has to do with visual. I've been doing this since 2005.
mhm.
And what inspired me is because I was just fascinated over television and like how they do this and how they do that. So
Yeah.
I just wanted to know. I was curious. So I went to school
Mhm.
for I signed up and went to school for it. So
Wow.
I love it. At one time I had my whole camera crew,
Mhm,
and we did weddings, bar mitzvahs, birthday parties, anniversary.
mhm,
And I got assigned to a photography place where I was doing editing and all
mhm.
that kind of stuff. So
Wow.
anything that has to do with visual as far as television or and graphics, that's me.
Mhm. That's good. So basically, you have just the one business, or you have.
I actually have multiple business, but
Okay.
I don't know which one to like better than the other.
Right. Right.
I've been cooking since the age of 6, so I have my own catering business.
Mhm.
But since the pandemic kind of like slowed down a lot tremendously.
Right.
So
Mhm.
right now I'm focusing on the graphics and the visual right now.
Yes. Very good. Well, I look forward to bringing you back and talking with you a little bit more. So I'm going to bring on my next guest, Shenika. How are you?
I am wonderful. How are you?
Good. I'm so glad to have you with me tonight as well.
Listen, I love it. I love the whole setup. I am so excited if you could not tell.
Okay, so share about your business and how long you've had your business and what influenced you to get started with it.
Sure. So, my business is Branch Out Learning Lab LLC. We are
Mhm.
a tutoring center. And I mean premier tutoring center. We tutor kids from grades K through 12. We
Uh-huh.
do things like essay writing for those who need some, assistance in that area. Those college essays are really tough sometimes. So
Yeah.
we do a little bit of everything at the Branch Out
Wow.
Learning Lab.
That's great. That's
For
great.
those who know me, and even if you don't, I'm an educator. I've been an educator for about 17 years.
Mm-hmm.
Usually, tutoring is something that folks do like in their beginning years, but
Yeah.
apparently, here we are, 17
Yeah.
years later. About a year ago, I started tutoring one kid. Next thing I know, I had six, and
Mm-hmm.
then from there, I said, all right, let me find me an office space. Turned into something much, much larger. And now I'm able to tutor multiple children as well as allow other teachers to
Wow.
tutor as well. So right now we got about 30 to 35 kids on our roster, and
Wow.
we're having a great time. We started, when did we start? Yes, we started in September of 2020.
Wow.
21. That was just, 3 months ago.
Uh-huh.
We started in
Wow.
September, and we've been blessed with growth from the time we
Yeah.
started till this very moment right now. So
And
that's
where's your business located? Where's
Oh,
it?
we are in the Morristown Mall in Morristown, New Jersey,
Mm-hmm.
across from Auntie Anne's, as I tell everyone. Yes, we get to smell the pretzels. And yes, it's been a blessing to be able to be in a stable location
Yeah.
and just a safe place for kids to come and learn and have fun.
Right. That's amazing because that's so needed.
Yes,
It
this
is
is my
really needed.
pandemic baby.
Yeah.
During the pandemic,
Yeah.
as a teacher, I tell people all the time, I'm like, I did everything that I could from my home between the screen and my students, and I know it wasn't good enough. So
Wow.
when it came time to, think of things to do, and I'm like, the God laid it on my heart. He's like, the kids are going to need something,
Yeah.
and this is what came out of me being a part of pandemic teaching and things like that.
Hmm.
And I know teachers did the best that they possibly could
Yeah.
with what they had, but
Right.
our kids need just a little bit more. So
Yeah.
here we are with the
Yeah.
more.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. So thank you
Thanks.
so much for sharing.
You're
And
welcome.
I'm going to bring on my next guest, Derek Dunn. How are you tonight?
I'm doing good. Blessed by the best.
Well, honored to have you with me as well. So share with us your business, how long you've had the business, and what influenced you to get started with your business.
Yes. So my business is called Dynamic Dream 609. It's a clothing brand.
Mm,
And I just came across my first year in business, December 20th of 2020.
wow.
Yes. So
Amazing.
I was inspired by actually it was a hip hop artist. His name was
Mm-hmm.
J. Cole. He goes by Jermaine Cole.
Uh-huh.
He made his own record label called Dreamville,
Mm-hmm.
and how he went out, he was able to go out to experiment with other different artists around the world, bring them together and come up with one sound, one unique sound.
Uh-huh.
So just listening to how he was able, well, his whole story from his past, his personal life, and how he turned his whole life around and was able to get different artists to come together.
Mm-hmm.
That's what really inspired me to make my brand Dynamic Dreams. It's basically the same pers the what was I trying to say, the process on how he was
Mm-hmm.
able to collect different artists and make one sound and
Yeah.
still be able to reach people like me, fans like me, to
Yeah.
inspire other people
Right.
from where he came from.
Mm-hmm. So how long have you had the clothing business?
I started with the process back in 2019 over the summer, but then
Okay.
once I really wanted to get into it officially, um,
Mm-hmm.
I started December 20th of 2020, and I've been working through the pandemic. So
Yeah.
same thing.
Yeah. Even though the pandemic has been, bad as far as people dying, so many people have gotten sick and so many people have lost loved ones. We've lost pastors, musicians, a lot of people. But there have also been a lot of good things that come out of the pandemic that God
Right.
has blessed us to be able to do, to share. How can someone reach you? Or do you have a website so they can see your clothing line?
Yes, I have a website, www.dynamicdream609.com, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
also on Instagram and Facebook.
Okay.
Under Facebook is Dynamic Dream 609 by Derek Dunn Jr. And
Okay.
on Instagram it's Dynamic Dream 609.
That's wonderful. So you have hoodies and what else? You have t-shirts?
Yes, currently sell hoodies because that's like the number one customer thing that's going right now.
Yeah.
I also sell t-shirts, masks,
Mm.
um, what else? Hats, any accessories, anything that if I have a design on mine,
Yeah,
I will sketch it and then I will apply it to the right product that I think best fits.
that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Congratulations on your business.
Thank
So,
you.
Derek, I'm going to bring you back. And my last entrepreneur, Carol, how are you tonight?
I am excellent, my sister. How are you?
Good. I'm so honored and glad to have you with me on tonight.
It is truly my pleasure, sweetie.
So, let's discuss your business or businesses
Hmm.
and how long you've had it and what has influenced you with your businesses.
Well, I am what they call a serial entrepreneur. So I have several, and I have a catering business, JD and Catering. That's the
Mhm.
oldest business. I've had that for about 25 years.
Wow.
And that started just out of a love for cooking. And I just love people enjoying my food. And, it started out
Mhm.
as someone coming over to the house to eat. And then you know how it is, people, you ought to start a business, girl.
Right.
So it grew into something like that. And
Uh-huh.
because I love it, it's just been really, really amazing. And then I have a new baby, and her name is Meekins Senior Shuttle. My husband and I, we relocated to Jacksonville, Florida. And when I got here, I don't know, I just noticed that because Jacksonville is so large, land mass wise, I just noticed that there wasn't a lot available for seniors. So God just really led me to start this business. And it is crazy. I started it in the middle of the pandemic. And it was quite challenging, but we forged ahead and beginning to see daylight, and it's been a blessing. And then I have my third business. I am a proud car driver director with Mary Kay. And I joined that business because, this is the only skin we've got.
Yeah.
And a lot of people think that Mary Kay is just makeup, but we are really basically skincare. And I love bringing women and men, because we certainly have some successful men in there, to let them know that how to take care of their skin and to let them know that it is vital that they do it. So I'm extremely fortunate that I have a wonderful unit. I've only been in Mary Kay for a year, but I've been able to earn a car and to build the unit. And it's just been wonderful. So that's those are my babies right now.
That is amazing. Now with the senior shuttle, how many shuttles do you have? You have 1, 2, or?
So we are a business that is completely for ambulatory seniors. So we don't transport people that need to be in a bed. We do transport people who need wheelchairs, that type of thing. Right. So we have our drivers are independent. And so our tagline is, we drive, you thrive. As some of the seniors, their children aren't available and they just want to get out. They may want to just go to the supermarket or visit other friends, in addition to doctor's appointments. So we are there in our red carpet treatment, making sure they are in perfect hands and good hands. So yes, we are, a fleet of cars, and we're just all around Jacksonville and the surrounding areas.
Wow, that is amazing. That's wonderful. And it's so needed.
Oh my gosh. With the public transportation, they normally have a system that they've allocated for seniors, or, how they have it in Philadelphia and the other areas. But they have to wait such a long time. And really, they're just a number. They're just a number, and they're just a pair. And we let them know that we do care. So it's
That's amazing. That is really amazing. You guys have some awesome businesses. Very good. Very, very good. Now, what tips can you give to other entrepreneurs? What tips could you give, or a tip that you could give to other entrepreneurs? I'll start with Shenika.
Okay, so as a new entrepreneur, I would say one of the number one things is key is education. Like read everything. There are opportunities out there that I would have never thought existed. So read everything. Go for the grants. There's something for everybody. So find it and have it apply. You see how it applies to you and your business.
Wow. Okay, Cassandra.
I would just say make sure that you have everything in place. Because the worst thing you can do is get a customer and then you can't fulfill what their request is.
Yeah.
So make sure you have everything in place and make sure you can provide everything that they're asking for.
Right.
Really what you're advertising that your business is.
Right. Absolutely. Carol, what tip could you give to other entrepreneurs?
If you're just starting out, and even if you're in another phase, if you're going to another phase, I would say be patient.
Yeah.
You have to have patience when you are self-employed, or if you have a job and it's your second one. You really do have to have a level of patience. It is not going to manifest overnight.
Right.
And you're going to have to understand that your patience is what's going to bring your victory. So I would say that's one of the foremost. I have a couple, but that's one of the first and foremost.
Right. Absolutely. Derek.
Yes, I would say the same thing. Be patient, and especially if you are trying to achieve greatness or you're trying to see where your goal you're trying to reach. Definitely stay patient. Take your time, take baby steps, and just indulge in just learning new things every day.
Right. Absolutely. That's good. And joining us is Pastor David Wright. Good evening, Pastor.
Good evening. God bless you. How are you all doing?
Excellent.
Wonderful.
Blessed by the best.
Great, great.
So I know your wife was going to be on. I did get a text from her. She's a little under the weather. And so we want to hear from you as to share about her business. And she has it in New Jersey. So let's share about her business.
Yes, we have, it is listed as a bakery, but it's really called the Sweet Shop, G-Light Sweet Shop. And we're in Atco, New Jersey. You know, I'm a Brooklyn boy, so I'm still trying to get used to these towns out here. But we're in Atco, New Jersey, which is South Jersey, 386 White Horse Pike in Atco, New Jersey. And it's a sweet shop. She sells cakes, pies, cupcakes, all kinds of brownies, regular church folks brownies.
Right.
And and we do coffee and things, and it has been a blessing. We opened up in October, and all kinds of cakes. She does the birthday cakes. She also does different wedding cakes if necessary. And we mainly do little slices of cake. We do banana pudding, peach cobbler. We do the desserts that's at our tables.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And she has a website because she shows a lot of pictures. Can you give us that website? Right.
Yes, that website is www.
Can you give us that website? Right.
Yes, that website is www.glightsweetshop.com. Yes, that website is www.
We may have to, if you all can mute your mics. And I don't know where, I think if you guys can mute your mics until you have to talk.
There you go.
That might help. Yeah.
So that website is www.glightsweetshop.com. That's GlightsSweetShoppe.com.
And maybe you could type it also in the comments if you can.
I'm going to type it in the chat so we can have it.
Yes. How long has she had her business, the business?
She's been doing this for I want to say
Okay, he went out. Okay. Now let me ask you another question. What has changed in these days when you hear a lot about starting businesses? What has changed when you hear a lot about starting businesses? Carol, you can unmute your mic. Carol, what has changed?
I'm getting a lot of double feedback.
Your mic. Yeah, I think if everybody can put their mics on mute.
I'm getting a lot of double feedback.
Put your on mute. I think if everybody can put their mics on mute.
I'm getting a lot of
Cassandra, put your mic on mute. Cassandra, put your mic on mute. Cassandra, put your mic on mute.
Is that better? Is that better?
I'm not sure where it's coming from because everybody is muted. I'm not sure where it's. Okay. Carol, I think it's on. It sounds like it could be on your end. I'm not really sure. Well, I don't know. Try with Shenika. The question is, what has changed in these days when you hear a lot about starting businesses? Shenika.
Yeah, so I would say like the paperwork of things.
Yeah.
There's a like, and I kind of alluded to this earlier. There's a lot to know, and if you aren't following it like directly in someone else's footsteps or reading up on everything, you will definitely miss something. It's in my opinion, it seemed easier before. You know, if you're a good cook, you start your business and you go on with it.
Right.
But I would say like the process of getting things started.
Yeah.
And then for folks like me, I couldn't, I couldn't quit my regular job to run my business. So this like time management, which is also, that's a skill. But again, I've been having nothing but a great time establishing my business and coming up with establishing the brand. Like I've been having a blast. So like if those two things are the smallest things, then that's all right. We can deal with that.
Right. Absolutely. Cassandra, what has changed these days when you hear a lot about starting businesses? Unmute yourself.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
I kind of feel it's been people that changed. I think they're kind of more fearful at this point, at this time. They're a little bit more fearful. I would say because, matter of fact, now because of the pandemic, and also people finances has changed drastically.
Yeah.
And I believe that people is just afraid to really, like Shenika was saying, because of their jobs or something, like that. The only time they can kind of make another choice is if their jobs didn't have not, restarted or they were able to go back. So I pretty think it's the people, it has made business change.
Yeah. What do you think, Pastor Wright? What has changed these days when you hear a lot about starting businesses?
Well, definitely the climate that we're in with the pandemic being such a horrible thing. People are hesitant to start a business because they don't know what kind of support they'll be getting.
Right.
And also they don't know if another shutdown is coming. It's very tough times right now, but just have faith and trust in God that some kind of way, even if you shut down, you have to have so many other ways that you can still operate your business, whether deliveries or other things. So social media has become one of our biggest marketing tools now. So that's really what it is. You have to adjust to this new wave that is going on. Even at our store, we have a drive-through just in case there's another shutdown coming. We can utilize the drive-through.
That's a great idea. Yeah, that's wonderful. Derek, for you, what do you think has changed these days when you hear a lot about starting businesses?
I would definitely say marketing, because I remember back in the day you was able to get the word out. If you was doing like a lemonade stand, you can get the word out quicker by word of mouth. Now it's more leaning towards social media, and a lot of people are not caught up to speed yet with that.
Right.
So I definitely would say social media and just trying to get the word out.
Right. Absolutely. Okay. Carol, what do you think? The question I was asking everyone, what has changed these days when you hear a lot about starting a business?
I think that one of the major things that has changed a lot is that a lot of Shenika sort of touched on it earlier. There are a lot of opportunities available, more opportunities, believe it or not, for women and for women of color that people are not aware of. So you really have to dig deep because there are so many people that are ready to invest in you and your idea. So I think what has changed a lot is what is now open to us. Even especially in these pandemic days, there's so much available.
Yeah, that's true. Now, do you consider yourself a risk taker?
I definitely am. I am definitely a risk taker because I know that without that, I will always wonder. I don't want to have to what if, because failure is really the bridge to your victory. So I am not afraid of the failure. As a matter of fact, that is one thing I would say to anyone who wants to be in business for themselves: accept the failure. It is an amazing teaching tool. Accept the failure, accept the risk, and because if you don't, you won't go anywhere.
Yeah. What do you think, Pastor Wright? Do you consider yourself a risk taker?
Absolutely, because in order to have extreme faith, you have to take risks. You got to step out on nothing and believe God gonna meet you there.
Yeah.
And if you're not willing to take risks, you're not exercising your faith in God. I don't mean to preach, I'm just saying,
it's all right.
if you're not going to step out on faith and trust God, everything, you can't always go by what's in your bank account or always go by what your family has done. Some things you just got to step out and just believe. By the time you make that next step, God is going to be there with you. And that's always a risk. But it's all right to take a risk when you trust in God.
Oh my God, that's good. Shenika.
Well, I wasn't a risk taker until about now. No, I don't consider it to be risky because I know what God told me. And I have a couple of projects under my belt, and one of them is quite lofty. And I know that, the startup on that one is going to be like, it's money I would have never seen in my lifetime. But I know what God said, and I know what he told me, and I know that it will be. So I guess that's risk taking, or just a step of faith as well.
Yes.
Because I talk about my project like it's happening to me right this moment, and people get in there, and I'm like, no, it didn't happen yet. It's gonna happen. No, you just gotta wait for it. Yeah. So that risk and belief go together, and I guess that's where we end up with our faith.
Right.
What sounds like an oxymoron. Risk and belief sounds like an oxymoron. Yeah, right? However, we know that we know that in him there is no failure.
Right.
That's it. Right.
Even if it doesn't go, that's the whole thing with, I believe when you're stepping out on faith, going with God, even if it doesn't go the way we thought that it should go, he was already there in the it didn't turn out the way. He was already there. So he is able to lead and guide us into everything. So we have to be sure. We have to be sure in the risk. Right.
Yes.
But we're all nuts. Pretty much, but it is what it is because I know what I heard, so it has to be.
Have that confidence, Cassandra.
That oxymoron kind of is in almost everything of our lives. You know what I'm saying? Because every time you walk out the door, it's a risk. Every time we get under the wheel of our car, it's a risk. So we're living an oxymoron.
Yes. Yeah. What about you, Derek? Are you a risk taker?
Yes, I am. And I actually made a design saying failure is not fatal. So once I came up with it, I said, I'm going to put it on a shirt because I know I'm going to forget it. So, I stand by that.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Now, my next question to you entrepreneurs are the marketplace. How important are entrepreneur Christians? How important is that, having entrepreneurs in the marketplace, Christian entrepreneurs in the marketplace? Pastor Wright.
Well, I believe it's very important. And I found out that it's more than just selling cakes. Some people come in there to get a cake, and we end up ministering to them. They come in there needing just somebody to talk to. They've lost a loved one and needed somebody. We've been praying for people when they come in.
Yeah.
And imagine if we weren't Christian based and they came in to an establishment to get something, and they're looking for an encouraging word, and we have nothing to give them but some cake. So I believe it's important that we have some Christian entrepreneurs out there that can do more than just sell their product, but they can also use it as an evangelism tool as well.
Wow, that's great. Carol?
So, yeah, how important is it for Christians? We don't have to really go that far because Jesus got that whole crew of his, the 12, in the marketplace. He found them working. You know, when we are talking about the marketplace, we as Christians should have that level of integrity, that level of honesty, as Pastor was saying. And yes, it could be used as a tool of evangelism, but who better than us? Who better than us to impact the marketplace? We are impacted on all sides. We've got the word, we've got our product, whatever it may be, and God is calling for us to be busy. He wants us to be busy, not just in our local churches or things like that, but we have to go out and do. And that's where how he found the disciples. They were working.
Yeah. Shenika?
So I'm not a preacher, and nothing against the preachers, but I believe that people are looking for something, and when they can find those things in folk that they consider normal folk, and then find out after the fact, oh shoot, she's a child of God, she's or identifies as Christian. I think that's some of what God has called us to be, and going into my place of business, I don't go in, crossed up with a cross on my neck and, things like that. But I believe that there's a light that people get a chance to see. And it pretty much shows us as the body of Christ in a whole new way. For those who are saved, for those who are not, it's just another opportunity. So I thank God for giving me something that I can do and still get to be everything that I am to him and with him. And folks get to see that. And for me, it gets to shine through with kids. And so with that being said, yes, there is a place for us, and something that I want to encourage us to do as Christians and as entrepreneurs is stick together. Nobody knows the struggle the way we do. Like we know it because we can identify with it on multiple ends. And like I'm grateful for those who have been able to mentor me, because I've been around and surrounded by people who are like-minded and following what Christ says. So when I say those crazy things, like it's only $5 million, I'll get it. Like they know what I'm talking about. They can identify and say, yeah, you will get it, and we're right behind you. So I enjoy the camaraderie amongst the Christian folk, as well as just knowing that what we're doing has a double purpose, if you will.
Right, Cassandra.
Yes, there definitely is a place for us. Because everything that I do, I bring it to the church as well.
Yeah. So
I don't just, service on the outside. I bring it in, and it becomes a vital tool within the church. So, and like you said, right now, everything is flowing through social media.
Yeah.
So that I'm gonna bring that in that part in the church, so we can also, be seen as well too. So
that's right.
Whatever I do, I bring it to the church.
Right.
So there is a place for us.
Yes. Derek.
Yes. Jesus gave me a vision, so I want to bring that to every single soul, as much people as I can. And long as I know that I put my all into everything and just let it out, it's okay with me. So as long as I know if I did it the right way, I'm okay.
Yes. And I'm thinking about something that I think Shenika said about coming together. and entrepreneurs working together. And it'd be nice to have some type of a group where you can meet and talk and share, because there are days that are good and there are days that are not so good, you know. And I think it's good to get that something from another entrepreneur, or you know, that value their business and look, this is what I'm dealing with. I can help you this way, because a lot of times I find with more Black people or people of color, I should say, they don't work together. And it's almost like crabs. They don't want to help the other person. And I think it's sad when we get to that place. And even as Christians, there's a lot of Christians like that too, where they don't want to help each other. I found that as even being a female musician, where, you know, a lot of times with women, we have a harder time of acceptance as opposed to the men, you know. And I think it's so important that we all stick together. And I think you need more of these things where you can talk and you know, just say how you're feeling, or you know, I can help you, or you know, I may need something from you that you may not have, and you may need something from me that you don't have. So I think it's important to do that.
I think in addition to that, collaboration is definitely important, because when we support one another, you know, you have something I need, I might have something that you need. But I
Right.
also think that anyone who is in business for themselves needs a mentor.
Sure.
They need a mentor. You
That's
have
right.
to be connected to someone who has already been where you're trying to go,
Mm-hmm.
because
Mm-hmm.
they can really assist you in some of the pitfalls, and then sometimes
Mm-hmm.
when you're down. But when it comes to really expanding your mind and getting what you need, you have to link up with people who are stronger than yourself. It is a
Yeah.
problem when you are in the room and you are the most knowledgeable. See, if
Yeah.
I'm looking for a $10 million year, I need someone who has already been there and knows what it took to get there
That's
and
right.
can lead me there. I don't need to be in a room full of people who are trying to do the same thing, because all we're talking about is, yeah, I'm looking for faith. Yeah, I'm just looking for God to do it. No,
Mm-hmm.
I want a seat at the table
Mm-hmm.
where it matters.
Right.
So
Mm-hmm.
in addition to linking up with those persons who are going to, you know, the other entrepreneurs, everyone has to have a mentor.
Yeah. I agree. I agree. Anyone else would like to add something to that? Or I have Dolores Housey. She says success balance scale is 90 to 99% is spiritual and 1 to 10% is how to.
Yeah, that seat at the table is good, but can you imagine if we all got together on one accord, we would be the table.
I know that's right.
Right.
We would
Amen.
be the
Yeah.
table.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. Very true. Now, what can you say to a person that, you know, they really desire and would love to be an entrepreneur, but they don't know really where to begin or how to begin? What do they do? What can you suggest to them that they do? I'll start with Shenika and Cassandra, and then the rest of you.
I would say start with find your passion. Like,
Yeah.
what's the thing? What is the thing that makes you happy? I always tell people teaching is the job that I would do for no money if I could afford to live with no money. Because that's my passion. That's the
What's your
thing that I
passion?
enjoy doing. I love seeing the kids' reaction. I love talking to the kids. That's my thing. So
Mm-hmm.
for me to start I would consider my first business with my passion. Like
Mm-hmm.
that made it better for me. That made it 110 times better.
Right.
Oh,
Cassandra.
yes. Starting a business, like Shanika said, is first have a passion, and then
Mm-hmm.
learn about the business. See what it consists of.
Mm-hmm.
Um, no, exact. Just knowing the business before you start, because going to blind, you will really run into something.
Mm-hmm.
So get to know what the business that you want to start. Learn it.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Derek.
Yes, definitely passion. It was for me because I love clothes. So that was one thing I got out the way. So after that, it was kind of just learning more about in-depth details of my actual craft. And on top of that, I draw too. So that was another step. So it was easy for me. So yes, definitely passion. And always when you go into it, don't think of it as a job. Because then if you think of it as a job, it's going to be like, oh, okay. But if you just go in there and just actually do it, and it just becomes repetitive, it's like, okay, this is where I'm at. This is where I want to be. So that's definitely the passion.
Yeah, definitely. Pastor Wright?
Yes, I like that as well. The passion, you have to be passionate about it, because if you're passionate about it, you won't stop if something goes wrong. So your passion is what gets you going all the time, and you have to be passionate about it. Don't look at somebody else doing something and say, oh, I want to do what they're doing. That might not be your passion. That might not be your calling. And you've been went out there and tried to do it like they do it, and you don't know what they had to go through to develop their craft and things like that. So make sure it's what's deep on the inside of you.
That's good. Carol?
I would say that after you've found your passion, because that's probably one of the top things, then I would say you have to learn time management.
Yeah.
You have to learn time management, because that passion is going to take you into another direction. And it's going to take, if you have a 9 to 5, or if you have other things that you're taking care of in life, you're going to then have to figure out how to do what you love. So time management, and I'm a real stickler with that. So yeah, that would be what I would say.
Yeah, that's good, because that was going to be my question about time management and about organizational skills. You must have that. You definitely have to have it. I'm also speaking to people that are watching, and I thank everyone that's watching and tagging and sharing. I thank you so much. Navigating as an entrepreneur has its challenges, of course. When you have a family, how are you able to navigate that as an entrepreneur? Because some entrepreneurs have multiple businesses, like some of you on here, you have more than 1 or 2 businesses. So how, if you had a family, how are you able to be a successful entrepreneur as well as have a family too? I mean, we're speaking to other people that are out here listening. How would you be able to kind of answer that, Carol?
Well, the family has to understand your passion and understand that it's going to take sacrifice. That's one thing, especially when you are building. It's going to take some time away from them. And so it is going to take sacrifice. I always tell people, if you were linked up with a doctor, they've got to go to med school. They've got to go to all of that. And you just accept that because you know that's the track that they have to take. So there's time away. But when it comes to your family or that type of thing, you have to break it down. You have to really decide what can be done on this day, what can be done on that day, what time you have to cut it off. And you have to be, nothing is fail proof. You're going to miss it sometimes. That's why you can't beat yourself up. You need an understanding partner. You need an understanding family. But, set the time aside and try to stick to that. And that's going to make a huge difference. I have 3 businesses. I am married to a pastor. I'm married to a bishop. It's a lot going on. And so I have to be a lot of things to a lot of people. He is very understanding. He gives me the space that I need, but I also have enough wisdom to know that, okay, I could work around the clock probably, but it's time to shut it down. And it's time to spend some time. And you have to understand, the client has to understand, the business have to understand that it cannot consume your life. It is a part of your life. So sometimes it's tricky because when you're building, you have to put a lot of time and energy into it. And at the same time, you have to ask God for wisdom when to pull back so that you can maintain that which is already built and you're also trying to make stronger. It's not easy. And you have to sometimes go back to the drawing board and tweak it a little.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But it can be done.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Someone, Robin Taylor, says, yes, there need to be conversations in the family about what you're doing. Time with family has to be scheduled. It's true. What about you, Pastor?
Yes, I agree 100% with Dr. Carolyn. And what I would say, put your family. Well, what my wife does, she put us all to work. She got me in there with an apron on, got my son in there, got my daughter in there selling cakes, put them to work, and then they become a part of what you're doing.
Yeah.
Instead of you're doing something and they looking from the outside in, they become a part of it, and then they start loving it just as much as you do.
Yeah.
But then don't let it just consume your everything. Because we can become workaholics, and then 3 or 4 years go by and you ain't had a vacation.
Yeah.
So we have to be wise in our time management and make time for family. It's all right. If your business can't survive because you shut down for 2 days, then you ain't in business.
Yes.
So you got to be able to make that time. Stay open later one day so you can make sacrifices for another day that you can do what you need to do, for your family. You got to have your family time. But my wife, she got us all working.
Everybody's working. I know I've seen you with the apron on. I've seen you. Carlene Roberts says, we brought all of our family in. Everybody is involved. It's true. Cassandra?
Well, I really can't answer that question because my boy's been grown for a long time. And, I never really had that situation. And as far as my husband, he'll stay up with me. When I cater, he's the taster. So, I mean, we do it together. And I mean, if I need cans or whatever, open up, he does all of that. So he helps me, But as far as the kids, my boys is in their 30s. So I didn't have a business when they were young.
When they were young, yeah.
So they've been grown for a long time.
Right. Yes. Yeah.
So, but becoming a worker, I totally agree with that. Even when you conduct your business at home, you get to that point where you do need to schedule yourself, because it will consume you, and you'll get nothing done in your house. So as well as going out, being at home, it really does take the same thing.
Yeah.
Because the last thing we want is for the family to resent our business.
Yeah.
The last thing we want is for them to say, I hate having to go. You never been. Well, and because and they become bitter. So, and they become distanced from you. And
That's
so,
true.
We have to really, really look at our calendars, schedules. I tell people that is my lifeline. Schedules, calendars. It's the only way. It's the only way it works for me. So my husband knows that the 3 businesses, he's involved in almost all of them, and that's fine. But you have to understand that when you are in business for yourself and you're building business and you're the CEO, everything falls on you. So the responsibility is yours. The weight is heavy. However, your family, if they know that you're really concerned about them, that they will in different ways be able to assist you, even if it's to, I love you, Mom, or babe, it's okay, or I'm jumping in to help peel the potatoes, or whatever that might be, or to help with the scheduling. So you want it to be as healthy as possible, but it can be tricky. And so you do have to, and the other thing I wanted to say is talk to each other. If you notice there's breakdown in the family with your children, with your spouse, whatever, talk about it. Talk about it, because they can understand you're trying to build something. Legacy wealth.
Yeah.
So, talk about it.
Yeah.
Legacy is exactly where I was about to go. When I was deciding on how to name my business, which is, if you can tell, it's named after it's my family's last name. It was very important to me that my family, who are also very important to me, were able to connect with that. And I think at this point they know that this isn't just my thing. It's going to end up being our thing, and it's going to be good for all of us. And it's important that we all contribute. So just like everybody said, my folks pretty much they are the key holders at my business. And I'm like, who else would I trust more with the keys to something that means the world to me, my pandemic baby, as I call it, than my mother or my sister or my father. Like, those are my people. And it feels really good to be able to include them in what's happening, and just to know that they have my back no matter what. And if I can't be in a spot, like at this point, everybody has learned the business too. I don't know if they meant to, but they have, so that anybody could step in, should something happen where I can't. So I'm grateful for that, and having them as those stakeholders in the business.
That's right.
Definitely. Carlene says the key is to have everyone working in their passion if possible. If they love math, they can do the accounting. If their passion is marketing, they can market. If it's serving people, they can work that. Before we started, we decided what our passions were and combined them as a business. Yeah.
That's my friend.
Okay. Yes.
And someone that I look to, because her family is into quite a bit, and they have figured out everybody's roles. Like she's saying what's actually happening to her family. They have figured out what everybody can do, and everybody contributes in the way that suits them and suits their need. So like, kudos and shout out to you. Let me know when you're on the show so I can watch.
Well, okay, this will be my last question to you. Should a person who has a desire to become an entrepreneur, should they quit? If they have a job, should they quit their job? Shenika, I'll start with you.
Don't quit your job if you can't take care of yourself. Don't you do it. Don't do that. Now, we don't even need to go talk to Jesus about that. Just don't do it.
Right.
And I say that because you need to take care of yourself. And there are ways to push your passion and make the money that you need to take care of yourself. It can be done. Everything doesn't have to just go bursting open because you have an idea right that moment. So it takes time, and it takes planning, and you'll get to where you want to be and need to be in God's time, not necessarily in your time, but in God's time. Don't you quit your job. Oh, Lord.
Cassandra?
Absolutely not. And Carol Jenkins had touched on it. She said about patience, so being patient, like I said, that when you say patience, that's patience on resources, that's patience on learning, that's patience on everything that it covers. So she touched on it. Don't quit your job, because that's probably how you're going to have to finance it from the beginning.
Yeah, that's true.
Be patient.
No. I learned just when I first started real quick that you can use your job to fund your business, especially if you're just starting something and you're trying to build it from the ground up. Definitely you want to use your 9-to-5 to fund your passion.
Right. Yes. Pastor?
Do not quit your job. Loose here. No. And the main reason, because sometimes we have to do what we have to do until we can do what we want to do. And once your business, your own personal business, is able to sustain you, then you can look at coming out of that job. But until then, you'll put too much pressure on yourself
That's right.
to try to be so successful so soon. And it may not happen as soon as you want it to. So keep that job so so you can fund what you really want to do.
Right. Absolutely. Carol?
Insurance is high.
Sure.
Insurance is high.
It is.
So you have to understand now, you don't want, especially in the beginning, have an exit strategy. Have an exit strategy. And when you are making twice your salary, you can start thinking about it. Okay. When you can do that, and it's not going to bother you if you don't, work for a few days or 2 weeks off, and it's not going to bother the budget or anything like that. And you have an income, that you have savings and all of that kind of stuff. Yeah, you might be able to think about it, But in the beginning, remember the ER. Remember the dentist. No. No, you really, and I get it, how eager you are to throw everything, all of you into it. But as everyone on the panel has said, you're going to need those funds to help fund and that type of thing. And there are just so many other things that can happen that you're not prepared for after you've left that job. If you don't have a rainy day fund and all that type of thing where you can pay your mortgage or your rent for 6 months, you have to think about those things. Right. So, what we want, as the TV show said, curb your enthusiasm.
Yeah.
The blessings of the Lord addeth no sorrow.
And this work the work. And just work that. Come on here. Okay. So we agree to all agree. Nah, not right now. You don't want to do that in the beginning.
Right. Absolutely. Because I've heard of people making that decision to quit their job and to go in their business, and they really struggled. Some people made it, but the majority of them, they found out the hard way that this was not the right thing to do. And I know sometimes we can become so frustrated in our job that we feel like, it's time for me to do something else. But this will help you to fund what you need, because you do need money. Let's talk a little bit about investing, about money. And also, Shenika, share about your job, what your entrepreneur, what your business is, because some people came on late.
All right. So Branch Out Learning Lab is a tutoring center. We tutor from grades K through 12, most subjects. We haven't met a subject that we're not ready for yet. Somebody came in for Korean tutoring, and I found that too. So, so we haven't met a subject that we don't do yet. We do what's called, we call acceleration tutoring, where if your kids are up to level, we push them further. We do remediation tutoring. If they're behind, we get them caught up. We also do what we call like a skills training. So for those folks who need just a, like a college essay written or things like that, we help out with stuff like that too. Right. We do a lot. We have enrichment courses. For example, we have a bucket drumming class coming up on Saturday. It was supposed to be last Saturday, but it snowed. So I said, everybody stay home. But we just want to build up kids so that they are whole and able to box with the rest of those who they're going to be competing against when it's time for them to go out into the world.
Absolutely. If you all, they're asking for you, and I'm probably with your phone or another device, if you can type in the chat your websites. They're asking if you could put your in the chats, if you can type your websites in the chat on Facebook under the comments. If you guys can put it there, that would be great. Cassandra, share about your business.
I'm trying to see what I just did.
Oh, okay. Derek, share about your business.
Okay, my business is a clothing brand, and originally it started for people in my age group. but now I'm starting to branch out, and it's gonna be available for all ages now. So, yeah, I'm still learning, even though it's been a year, but I'm still learning.
Yes, that's good. Okay, Cassandra,
Yes.
share about your business again.
Oh,
And then also, I need you to type some information in the
yes.
comment section.
Okay, my business is basically graphics and visual. I am an editor. I do anything for graphics, business cards, anything that you can post or print or whatever I do. Visual, as you saw the beginning of Miss Cindy's show, I did the intro and outro for her, so I do that as well. Now, like I said, there's a lot of people doing social media, and they want a good look, so I can provide that for you. Anything that you like in your church or wherever, if you want screens up for your business or you want screens up at your church or whatever, that's what I do. So yeah, and I would definitely post my information on.
Yeah, do it in the comment section.
And I also am a caterer, so I cook too. Anything that you want.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, Carol.
Okay, I have Meekins Senior Shuttle here in Jacksonville, Florida, where we cater specifically and intently to our senior sector here in all of the counties, most of the counties here in Jacksonville. We drive, you thrive is our tagline. We have a red carpet service for them. And I am also a director, a car driving director with Mary Kay. And I have a catering service, JDN Catering. Shenika we were talking about legacy. JDN stands for Joshua, Dion, and Nathan. That is my daughter and my grandkings. And we believe in legacy wealth. They are all adults, but they know when the Lord takes me off, it all belongs to them.
Yeah.
And my husband. So yeah. So that's where we are. The shuttle service, Mary Kay, and our catering business.
That's great. And Pastor and Carol, type yours in the comment section.
Sure. Yes, ma'am. We'll do.
Pastor Wright.
Yes. Again, my wife and I, we own a bakery here in Atco, New Jersey. We sell cakes and all these kinds of things, all kinds of pies and desserts. And we're located at 386 White Horse Pike in Atco, New Jersey. And it's been going well. We do all kinds of catering events when it comes to sweets. So it's called G-Light Sweet Shop. G-Light Sweet Shop. And the website is already in the chat. I'll put it there again, www.glightsweetshop.com.
Yeah, put it on Facebook and that chat. Not the chat. Put it in the comments section on Facebook where we are live.
How do you do that?
Because the chat is coming.
Yeah. I don't see where we can put that in the chat.
Yeah, Shenika, how did you put yours in?
On my phone. I was watching the show on my phone and it popped up.
Okay, I'll do it from the
That's
phone.
what I'm doing.
Yeah, from your phone or your iPad or tablet. I think I got everybody to talk about their business. So I need you to put that in there. And there's a scripture while they're doing that I want to that I thought about today, and I have to find it here to share with everyone while they're doing that. And Psalms 90th division of Psalms, the 17th verse out of the Amplified, it says, "And let the gracious favor of the Lord our God be on us. Confirm for us the work of our hands. Yes, confirm the works of our hands." And it's important that God confirms the works of your hands as entrepreneurs or those that are interested in becoming an entrepreneur. I think we have, and Derek, did you put yours in as well?
I believe I did, but I'm going to see if I can put it in on the phone.
On the phone. Yeah, if you could do that, that would be good. And Shenika has hers. Her information is on here.
Yeah, I put it all on there.
Yes, you did.
Yes. Every
Yes, you
bit
did.
of it.
Yes. Which is good. Okay, here's Pastor Wright and his wife, Geneatha.
I'm trying to put mines on, but I forgot my email by heart. I have to go get it.
Can you do it on your right there on the phone?
Yes, I got to do it on my phone, but my business card is on my desk because for some reason I have a lot of emails and I can't remember the email.
I had to look up my phone number.
I
It's real. It's real.
If you wanted to put the name,
actually I can get it. I can get it.
Yeah, put the name of your business.
Yes.
And here's Carol's. She has multiple streams of income. So it's in the chat. Are there any other questions before we close? Those that are watching, we're trying to get a couple of more information on here. Jelite official at gmail.com. Very good.
This was a fantastic gathering. I'm still excited to have been here.
Yes, and I'm so excited and glad that you all were a part on tonight. And I'm excited. I think I lost Pastor Wright. I'm trying to see if he's coming back. Maybe busy, but in case many of you don't know, that's the late Timothy Wright's son.
Oh, I know him personally. He preached for me when I was in New York when I preached because he lives in Brooklyn. And
yeah,
he preached for me because I used to belong to Morning Star Highway Church of Christ, and he's very good friends of ours.
Yeah, he moved to New Jersey, but the church is still there.
Yes,
and he has another church that they launched in Jersey. So he's doing well. But that's the legendary Pastor Timothy Wright's son. And he and his wife.
Bless our souls, yeah.
Yeah. He probably had to go, but he put his information in the chat, so everyone will be able to see it. It's in the comment section. Everyone will be able to see it. And I want to thank everyone for joining us on tonight with Real Talk with Cindy, with my guests that were here tonight. And I'm sure I'll be able to have them come back again because I will be excited to see towards the end of this year as to what God has done for them. So I want to say good night. Those of you that will watch the replay and those of you that will watch it for months or weeks later or even on tomorrow, you feel free to share as well. I want to welcome all of you that will come on and watch the replay. Kim Dunn, this is Derek's mother. She said, yes, it was. Thank you all. And I wish all of you good success.
Thank you. Let me just say to everyone, pray over your business.
Absolutely.
And watch God anoint it and take you to the level that He has designed for you. You can't even imagine where He will take you.
Yes.
Pray over your business. And I pray God's blessings over all of those who I shared this panel with tonight. There's greatness within you, and I know God is going to do exceeding and abundantly for each of you. Thank you for this opportunity, Cindy.
Yes. Oh, thank you all so much. And Regina, which is Shanika's sister, she said, great panel. Yes.
Stakeholder.
Yeah. But I want to thank everyone for joining us on tonight. And I look forward to seeing you in February. We have some more guests that will be joining us in the month of February. I have about at least maybe 35 people on my waiting list, 35 to almost 50 that I'll be bringing on. I've had over 100 people. So God has blessed me with this platform, and I'm ready to take it higher. And Cassandra has been working with me with that. So there's something for everybody to do in the kingdom. And like I said, even with the pandemic, it has been challenging. It has been, really an eye opener with a lot of deaths, even with churches that have closed. But God has still blessed during the pandemic as well. It has not all been in vain. He still has blessed all of us in this pandemic And if you can come out and become an entrepreneur and maintain it during the pandemic, you got it. So I want to say good night to everyone, and I look forward to seeing you all again. God bless you, everyone. Have a blessed evening.
Thank you so very much for tuning in to Real Talk with Cindy Barber. We hope you have been informed and inspired by the conversation on this evening. You can contact Cindy Barber on Instagram at CindyRBarber04. You can email her at ms.cindybarber@gmail.com or the YouTube channel at Cindy R. Barber. You can also contact Cindy about having your event advertised on Real Talk with Cindy Barber. Cindy looks forward to you joining her next week for another informative conversation right here on Real Talk with Cindy Barber. Until then, have a great evening.